Alright, good morning everybody. So, fun stories for you today, but I have to wait until it clears up. But I wanted to show you, I got I don't know how well you can see it. You can definitely see a little bit of a red mark here. But this guy, even when I touch it now, super sensitive it got yesterday. Also, this one. But mostly, this guy was really sore. So I'm going to tape, he's really sensitive. I'm going to tape him up today because every day so far has been super foggy and wet. So my feet have been in wet socks all day. And that's what really causes blister stuff. And also, apparently, it's going to be real rocky today. The fun story is that I talked to the caretaker yesterday, and that was interesting. So I'll tell you about that later on when maybe it'll clear up and I'll be able to, walk and talk again. Say goodbye to the 501 shelter, everybody. Say goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Just want to show you out there. You can see it in the clouds. I don't know, maybe you can see it. That's the caretaker's home, but owned by the park association, or I'm not sure who, the local, the county, the state. I don't know who owns it, but he does not. But he's been living there for 4 years. There's campgrounds that way, and man, every morning it's like this, and it clears up at maybe around 4. You get some sunshine, but nowhere near enough to dry anything. Yeah. So anyway, my tent's just constantly wet. My tent fly anyway, which is fine. Just a small inconvenience, not a big deal. But it was nice just being in an enclosed shelter. It's such a luxury. And now that I have a decent SIM card, I have 8 gigabytes of data on AT&T, so I have good, service and stuff, and I got a crazy deal, $25 a month for that. So it's awesome. And I'm kind of going on a YouTube binge. So I was up, it gets dark at 7. So, I'm not going to sleep at 7. So I was doing I probably did an hour and a half of watching Dave Chappelle. And there's a video game that I like called Hearthstone. And looking and watching some, what do they call it? Analysis of the fight that's coming up on Saturday. So, yeah, I'll probably do that for a week or two, and then I'll get that out of my system. You've been on the trail for this long. I don't know. It's so addictive, I suppose. Yeah, it's very addictive. So anyway, I felt the strong pull to get into to start watching videos like that. But that'll subside very, very quickly. I don't remember I told you guys. I played a video game for a second. I don't remember if I brought that up or not. Oh, hey, what's up, guys? Sorry.
Can you give us some direction, you don't mind?
Yeah, what's up?
So,
that's my guitar. Gently weeping. All right. Those guys are cool. They're around. They're in the army, and I guess they're doing some training or something nearby. And but anyway, they were neat. Just checking out the area, going for a hike. We'll probably catch up because I think they're coming this way on the trail. And I'm gonna stop just a half mile in. It's supposed to be some water, so I'm just gonna fill up for basically the rest of today. I drank probably a liter this morning, and I still have another half liter I'm gonna drink when I get there to to load up for 2 liters, and I think I'll be set, because it's going to be not too hot, and I can't walk that fast with all these rocks, so I'll just I'll deal with that. And I don't think I'll need that much water. And then towards the end of the day, I'll have another water source, like Yellowtail or something spring. I'll have to double check it on the map. But yeah, so I can't remember what I was saying, guys, so I won't continue whatever it was. Oh, I'm playing video games. There we go. About, 2.5 months in, I was decided I'm going to download a video game, and it was called, like, Grim Quest, I think. And it was a really well done, like, text-based RPG. So you're like a, whatever kind of soldier in Old Town, medieval kind of stuff, made up a little bit of mysticism happening, and you go into dungeons and into forests, and you fight different creatures and build your character with different, weapons and strengths and magic, and then you just try to defeat big bosses, going deeper and deeper into the dungeons. Let's see, which way should I go? I see no markings. I guess I'll go this way. Yeah, I'll continue going straight. So, oh, there's a marking. We're good, everybody. We're good. So, yeah, anyway. Yeah, so I played that. I'm like, oh, I'll play this for like 2 weeks and, get that out of my system. And that's exactly what happened. I played that for 2 weeks. There was one 0-day shelter where I played for like 4 or 5 hours. And then I was like, all right, I got that on my system. Now I'm bored of this. Back to not needing, screen time. So then I haven't had screen time again for a while. So I'll have screen time again and get that out of my system. And then I'll be good to go once more. There's the little spring coming right out of the earth, and there's a nice little stone monument to Pilgara, kind of in memory of some missionaries who rested here on their way to visit the Shawnee Indians / Native Americans. They rested near this spring, and it just and this was erected in 1946, that stone. So just again showing the history of these trails and of these mountains. It's nice to think about, previous years and centuries and what happened in the same exact spot. So, filtering the water, letting that happen. But yeah, on that note about remembering, or thinking about, at least acknowledging that this place has existed, like this exact spot has been around for at least centuries, if not millennia, depending on Earth's shifting and everything. But yeah, that's one of the, you get asked, or I think about it, and I ask the question a lot, what's your superpower? If you could pick anything, even non-existent superpowers, what would you want to be able to do, as a superpower? And one of probably my top 3 is to be wherever I am, and then imagine, like, be able to just kind of become an observer through time of what took place. I could just go, what happened, what was here 1,000 years ago, and just be like, poof, I'm an observer of this spot in this space 1,000 years ago, or 100, 10, 5, whatever, X years ago, X time. What was happening here? I would love, like, an observer of history, I suppose, would be the superpower. You have to be in the spot though, and then you can go see what's happening in that spot in different times. And I think that sounds really cool. So I would love to see what that superpower is like. Ah! Oh, you see it? Where is it? I don't know. I assume you can see it. Where is it? Do you see it? Yeah. I was just finished recording the last video. And then I see this spider. I guess it's not going to get clear for you. And I made that same scream sound. Alright, I'm going to take care of this now. Hello, spider. Ah, it's clearing up. I mean, these are going to be wet all day still, but it's clearer. I can see things. I can follow the trail, so that's all nice. So this is pretty cool. Old monument here, 1755, site of Fort Dietrich. Snyder, a lookout post to warn of the approach of enemies in the French and Indian War. The Historical Society of Berks County, 1915, relocated in 1946. So in 1755 there was a fort here, put up by the British before we got our independence. And I heard from Mr. Borderline, he gave me a little history lesson where apparently Benjamin Franklin was a colonel at this fort. So that's pretty neat. And he always makes a joke. There's a spring. You can see this writing here. There's a spring going that way. You see the blue blazes. And he always says, "Oh, did you get any water at that spring by the fort?" And maybe you might feel like flying a kite tomorrow, or or maybe you'll develop some wise sayings in the next couple of days. Makes eye-rolling jokes, but he's very happy about them. So anywho, that's kind of neat. Always this stuff is cool. It looks like there's like a campground over there, so very nice. Oh, I'm annoyed. Came down the sandy spring because Mr. Borderline, who's supposed to know this trail very well. Oh no, wrong way. Here we go. Here we go. Here it is. There's an empty bed there, but now there is more blue. But the trail is very annoying. You know, it's 200 yards, or probably closer to 300. And it's so rocky. It's so exhausting. I had my ankle hurting for the first time today, just like, overuse pain. I haven't felt that in my ankles before, but thanks to all these rocks, that's happening. And I just want to, jump down to the spring. It's only 200 yards, but you can't do that here. You gotta tiptoe cautiously trip and stumble and fumble your way down to the spring. It's getting very tiresome. Language incoming. I just followed this blue blaze on these rocks for so long, and there's no water. Very upset by this. I don't like walking extra on these stupid rocks. So anyway, that's how I feel right now. Because I got no water, despite the stupid effort. And I wasn't even going to come down this way. Except Mr. 501 caretaker said, yeah, you should go down Sandy Spring instead of going to the shelter water. And I said, is that easier to get to? And he's like, oh yeah. Yeah, that's easier to get to. God darn it. That is bullshit. Should I address the elephant in the room? All right. I'm calmed down a bit. I had a plan, and this is completely ruining the plan. I mean, many other things earlier in the day, by my own choice and decisions, resulted in me not doing as many miles as I wanted to. And that I wasted a half hour or more trying to follow this blue blaze to a spring that was not necessarily, I mean, it was my choice, but it was influenced choice, and without given knowledge, I would have made a different decision. So that causes me a little bit more frustration than if it was just my own, oh, let me go check out this spring. Because I was not going to. So anyway, a little frustrated because I'm not doing what my original plan was. But, new plan. I got some food in me and some breathing done and some eating done and some thinking done. So, I'm just going to go. I'm still on the blue blaze in like the campsite area where I first was about to complain. Complaining is very healthy, I know. As long as you can come back without too much trouble, that's the work. So I'm back. Oh man, these rocks are annoying, eh? And so I'm just gonna go to the next shelter. It's literally 0.1 mile after the spring on the AT. So I still got to go back a little bit and then down, and it's 0.3 off the trail. So I wasn't even going to do it. But I'm just going to leave really early in the morning. I'm going to sleep in the shelter, and I'm going to have my stuff ready. And I'm just going to wake up, I'm going to eat some trail mix, and I'm going to drink some water, and I'm just going to get up. I'm going to probably leave at like 6 a.m. But I'm going to have 10 miles to do to get to Port Clinton. And I really wanted to get to Port Clinton by like 10 o'clock because I wanted to do laundry and shower before going to the bar to watch the fights because I smell terrible. And I don't want to impose my scent upon non-hiking, food-eating people. So really my frustration comes from wanting to be able to watch the UFC at 2 o'clock. And my unwillingness to smell bad and my unwillingness to hike in the dark tonight because my feet hurt a lot. So I'll just wake up earlier. I'll just start earlier tomorrow. Slightly unpleasant, but not a big deal. I'm going to be finished in like an hour today, if not less. So all peachy clean. Everything's fine. Still, what's it called? Still got residual. Still got residual, anger pressure up here, but it's subsiding. Thank you for not being judgmental. Sand Spring. Oh, I thought this was the area. It looked like it was the spring location, but the blue blazes kept going. So, sorry, that's just salt in the wound right there. I looked in there wasn't any water, and Borderline said there's going to be water here. He was very positive, and he's been, taking care of this trail for 20 years, so he's put, like thousands and thousands of miles just in this 69-mile section, being a ridge runner in the past. So, you put your trust in experience. But oh well, he doesn't know. Maybe this is a pretty reliable spring, and it just happens to be a very dry season. But man, that was salt in the wound, because I went way past that because there was no water, and I had confidence in someone's opinion that there would be water, and I didn't see the sign. So that's not good either. I didn't see the sign because it's facing people coming up the trail, not down the trail, going back, Oh, so many things. All right. Take a breath and get over it. Let it go. Let it go.